Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rekt Capital and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video where we're going to be talking about two key resistance levels that Bitcoin needs to break in order to enter a parabolic uptrend. Subscribe to the channel and let's dive into the video after our quick sponsor. Our sponsor for today's episode is Ledn.io. Ledn offers a wide variety of financial services for long-term holders of digital assets. Ledn helps you do more with your Bitcoin through their Bitcoin savings account, their Bitcoin-backed loan program, and their B2X program. Their Bitcoin savings accounts let you earn 9% on your USDC and 6.1% on your Bitcoin. With their Bitcoin-backed loan program, you can take out a stable coin or dollar loan off of your Bitcoin, which is much more tax efficient to keep your Bitcoin exposure while gaining dollar liquidity. And through Ledn's B2X program, you can double your exposure to the Bitcoin you already own. Check out the link down below in the description and do more with your Bitcoin today. So the key two levels that Bitcoin needs to break is this flattening out 360-day stock to flow level. This is going to be a resistance. And in the past, you've seen this flattening out stock to flow line figure as a resistance and even as a support. Resistance here as well to reject to new lows. Resistance here as well. And you're going to probably see resistance here as well. And what's interesting is that if we were to zoom in here, the May highs of 65k were not too far below this flattening out stock to flow line. But in any case, this level, this stock to flow line is probably going to figure as a resistance, and that resistance is going to be 78k. So once Bitcoin breaks $67,000, that old all-time high that we saw Bitcoin establish most recently, breaking that level, we're going to see Bitcoin rally to 78k. And that's where we're going to see a very first initial test, because Bitcoin needs to break 78k for it to be able to ascend even higher. But this is where we're probably going to see some resistance, because we've seen resistance on the stock to flow line in the past before. So 67k, once that breaches, 78k is probably going to be that level to watch out for. So we could see some parabolic price action from 67 to 78k. But then that's the very first parabolic level. The second parabolic level that Bitcoin needs to break after 78k will be 84.5k, and the reason for this is that the pi cycle moving averages tend to figure as dynamic supports and resistances. You can see that this 111-day moving average, once a resistance, is now a clear support, and you can see here that the green moving average here, the 360-day moving average multiplied by 2, sometimes a support, and in the future it's going to act as a resistance, as is the case historically speaking. So the stock to flow line tends to figure as a resistance or a support depending on where we are in the cycle, in the same way that these two pi cycle moving averages tend to figure as supports and resistances depending on where we are in the cycle as well. So this 111-day moving average is a support now, and we're probably going to see resistance at this 84.5k region. So once Bitcoin breaks 67k, probably some mini parabolic price action towards 78k, where we see some rejection, some turbulence at around that region, and then Bitcoin is going to try to exact an upside deviation beyond the stock to flow line. So upon reaching 78k, we're going to see some turbulence, some rejection, quite possibly, but generally speaking, Bitcoin does do well with breaking that resistance at some point afterwards, after some initial rejection or turbulence, because an upside deviation beyond the stock to flow line is what ends bull markets, or at least begins mid-cycle corrections. But of course, we've already had the mid-cycle correction, so the next upside deviation will be the end of the bull market, and we tend to see upside deviations beyond the stock to flow line precede those Bitcoin price peaks. So initial turbulence, but then we're probably going to see a breakout beyond this stock to flow line to begin the upside deviation, and once that upside deviation matures, we're probably going to reach this green level where another bout of turbulence and some resistance could take place, but ultimately will also break beyond that level, and that's when we're going to fully mature into a full upside deviation beyond the stock to flow line, as tends to be the case. Because in the past, upside deviations precede bull market peaks. So 67k, then break out to 78k, a bit of resistance there, and then break out comfortably beyond that to 84.5k, which is this green moving average resistance on the price cycle top indicator. And then once we break beyond that, then that entire upside deviation will mature and we'll see a bull market peak in the several weeks after we've seen those two resistance break past. So those are the two key resistances that will enable parabolic growth, and those are the two checkpoints that I'll be watching for in the midterm as we see this upside deviation take place. And once inevitably those two checkpoints are breached, then that's when we will see a full mature parabolic rise in Bitcoin's price action to new all-time highs into price discovery, mostly uninterrupted, as FOMO, extreme greed, extreme euphoria will enter into the market, new retail interest, new institutional interest, all of that compounding into a fantastic parabolic run-up until we see the bull market peak. And as we've seen in the past, beyond these stock to flow lines, these upside deviations tend to precede these bull market tops, and we'll see another upside deviation like that over the coming months as well. In any case, guys, thank you so much for watching today. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. Like the video if you enjoyed this one and would like to see more data science focused content going forward. I'm Rekt Capital, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.